Well, that was a horrible ending to my last video. What happened? Was that cliffhanger built in by design? The answer to that simply is no. No, it was not. See what happened? Just as I reached for my power strip and turned it on, and we heard that click, and the video went out. Was as I hit that click, what you didn't see was I reached over and I touched this button, and I was about ready to mash it in, and at which point, for some dumb reason, I decided to look up at the camera, and I'm awfully glad I did, because it told me the memory card was full. Put a new one in, and by doing so, it powered off, or stopped recording. So that's what happened there. It was not not designed to be a cliffhanger in any way, shape, or form. That day, I had recorded the first 4 parts of this series in one shot, and if you notice, by the end of it, my voice was sounding a little bit more hoarse, a little bit more raspier, and I was tuckered out. So did it all in one shot, recorded it all on the same card. I generally don't do that. That was a first for me ever. So I will have to pay attention next time I'm going to do a multi-part session in a row. Okay, so we're back to the junk that I bought. And by the way, welcome and thank you for watching my cheesy, dumb, retarded videos. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all my new subscribers. You definitely got me over the 1 million mark, and thank you. Thank you very much. Anyway, onward and awkward as we go. Oh, also I recharged the battery in my shotgun microphone. I was noticing by the end of it, on number 4, the audio is starting to sound a little weak. So hopefully this will be a little better. So we've got this plugged back in. I shot those videos at the time that this one's going to be posted in real time a month ago. But for posted time, it's been 2 weeks ago. So during that time, I have not powered this on. I've been waiting for you. And now, don't get me wrong. That don't mean I haven't pushed the button. In fact, I pushed all these buttons. They're my buttons, and doggone it, I'm going to push them. And push them I did. But I ensured that this was unplugged from mains voltage. And so I have not yet seen this powered on. So hopefully we're gonna do that now. I did read peruse through the manual last night, and briefly looked at the words. So here we go. Oh, well, you know, what an anticlimactic thing that was. It looks like I need to maybe turn my power strip on. Yes, I do. Okay, and the camera's still recording, microphone's recording, you're still here, I'm still here. 5 minutes into the video, here we go. Ooh, ah. Well, that was interesting. I don't know if it's supposed to do that or not. Didn't read the manual that close. Looks like the meter, both my angle and your angle, looks like we're just slightly off. Nothing major. You know, I'm not going to be doing lab grade kind of repairs. So for me, slightly off, I'm okay with. And 99% of the junk that you see me work on my channel or demo or display or whatever, It's all my junk. Very rarely do I work on somebody's junk, for the main reason, if I break it, I buy it. So that's why I don't. I'm going to hook this up and test it. Hopefully it'll work out fine. Game plan anyway. We want to make sure that we're on NAB, North America, and not JIZ. JIZ is Japan. Germany, France. That's who that one's for. It's like I read it and I forgot it. So we're going to do this kind of convoluted. We're going to hook up a cable, and so well, that's kind of interesting. 60 hertz. I know there is a sensitivity meter here. Let's try that. Oh, better. Very cool, very cool. You've seen this tape deck in a earlier video. Which one? I can't remember, but you've seen it. I think when we were playing with the my HP Spectrum Analyzer. I think that's when we played with this. And this is going to pair just perfect with that HP. So in a later video, we will demo this. I think I'm just going to leave it bumped in. This is really nothing exciting. Let me turn my volume down on that. And so the tape that we have in here now is a wow and Flutter and speed calibration tape. It's a 3000 hertz sine wave, which is what you want. And so hopefully we'll get to see what how far off this is. Now, reading the manual, I think I read where these two are separate. So we'll see the frequency here, and then we'll see the wow and Flutter, and we'll mash buttons and see if each meter is separate or if they'll display at the same time. So shutting up, I got this cued. Turn the volume up. Oh. Alright, so I had it cued the wrong way. So. Alright, so now all I did was flipped it over. I mashed play. You see the cool little wheels just spinning. Turn the volume up some. There we go. So as you see, it's not quite at 3000 hertz. Oh, and by the way, I did demagnetize the heads on this before doing anything. Looks like we do have a little bit of meter movement here. We are on the weighted. Let me play buttons until we get this thing to work. So I guess weighted does both of those. Let's see what wow does. Maybe not. More book reading for sure. Let's go to Flutter. And now to unweighted. Now this button over here toggles between WoW and Flutter and the frequency counter. We are in WoW and Flutter mode. We'll mash it in for freak counter. And as you see, it definitely well, that's a sensitive meter. And so we have an output here that we can hook up to the O-scope, and that will show us the signal on there as well. And one day when we come back to actually play with this a little more, wow, you seen that? I just set the tape deck down and it really moved. We'll do a video just separate on this. I really wanted to play with this, really wanted to see if it worked. And now that I do know that that's true, that's awesome. The manual tells us how to calibrate this, so I may take a stab in the dark and do that. You just need a voltometer and or a O-scope in doing that. Okay, very cool, very cool. Okay, sorry about that. I all of a sudden had to clear my throat and it wouldn't go, so I had to kill the machine there. So we'll check this out in a later video. So I'm very happy to have this. This will probably sit next to the HP spectrum analyzer, and use those in conjunction, which means my parts bin over there is going to have to leave. So trying to find a room, or something up here is going to have to leave. Alright, so the next thing that I want to show, let me move this out of the way so the camera don't focus on it. You've probably seen this on the internet, or not the internet, on the eBay. If you're into RF, you probably checked these out. And this cost me $30. You can make one of these your own self, fairly easy, and I was going to, but after I started looking at the parts list and everything, you know, for a few dollars more, just already get it done. And so what happens is you have you hook up your radio, your RF radio, your CB, ham radio, something in the HF spectrum. I don't think that goes to with that. They give you this little printout, and you can see it good for 100 watts, 6.15 volts. Okay, frequency 7.135 megahertz. Oh, well, that sucks. I thought it went higher up than that. I'm sure it will. Pretty confident it will. I'll have to go back and check their eBay thing, but I thought it was good for at least 30 megahertz. So what you do is you plug your transmitter into one side, dummy load or antenna into the other side, and then you have a tap here which goes to your oscilloscope, and then you get to display pretty little signal on your scope, and so it'll for demodulation. So that's going to be really cool. Okay, So enough of that. I thought it was cool. What else? Give me just a moment. Let me pause. Let me move this out of the way, and we're going to carry on. The rest of the stuff that I have, we're not going to demo, and you can't see what I'm pointing at. I'm going to move this out of the way, and not really going to demo the other stuff. I'm just going to show it. You'll see why. It's kind of technical and above my grade. How's that? Next item I have is a Goodwill purchase, a local Goodwill purchase. Don't really have a need for one, but I thought what it was kind of cool, and the price was awesome. This is a Kenwood reverberation amplifier model RA-90 Roman numeral 2 B for Bravo. What a mouthful. And I'm getting a lot of glare there. Let me bump you in, and since it's a long item, we'll pan it. And since the camera is over there, let's go over here. So pretty self-explanatory. I have not used this device. I just got this, probably within the last week and a half. And all I've done was plug it into power at the store, confirm that it did power on, and it did. So I brought it home. I'm looking forward to checking out that display. That's my window back there. Snazzy, huh? Anyway, I know you care less about that. It was half off day, and that's not the price I paid for it. It's half off of that. So I figured, if it did not work, I got parts. And I got a project case. Pretty trippy dippy, huh? Okay, let me bump you out and let's bring in the next piece of junk. And of course, it's good junk because it's my junk. Next thing I got, been wanting one of these devices, not necessarily this particular one, but I needed another VCR like I need another hole in my head. This one here is Super VHS ET Phone Home, and this is a JVC. I have video cameras that are SVHS, and so this will be really cool to use it. And I've got the front ports here, so in case I need to plug in cameras or whatnot, I got that, so that's kind of cool. since I tore down my workbench last year and swapped offices last year, I do not have everything up and running. I do not have my analog video ripping station, or whatever you want to call it. Play my videotapes or rip videotapes, my video cameras, etc., etc. Anyway, I paid $7 for this at my local Goat Wheel, and yeah, that was half off. Jack likes half off days. And so as you see, full stereo, we have S-video in and out, and then cable box and pause. Cable box and pause. So again, don't know if it works other than just plugged it in at Goodwill and I saw the pretty little lights display come up. No tape in this one. I like looking for cameras and VCRs and stuff that have tape in it. Digital cameras that have media in it. Sometimes you find some interesting stuff on there. And trust me, I have. Some of it I can't show, at least not on the YouTube. I have to find one of those special websites. I'm navigating my way to the next couple of items in the background here. And as you can tell by the ruffling of the bag, they were in a bag protected. Again, the next two items are Goodwill purchases, and again, half off days. And again, only power test only. And I'm looking forward to these items. This is a Radio Shack realistic some number. There I went blind again, and I'm not seeing it, or it's on the back. We'll spin it around to the back here in a moment. Anyway, this came out in, I believe, 1980. 84, 5, 6, somewhere in there. Might even been 83. I remember these. I remember they were rather expensive and I couldn't afford one. So I ended up buying the model, the cheaper model below it, which was a fantastic deck. I had that thing for at least 10 years. I don't know whatever happened to it, but I no longer have it. As you see, we got computer controlled buttons, auto reverse. Oh, I'm a dork. Hey, I found the model number. This is a SCT-80. Now, Radio Shack was also cool about their naming schemes because it was real easy to figure out what it was. SCT stood for stereo cassette tape. Real original. And you'll see that on a lot of their stuff. The first nomenclature will tell you what it is in case you had no idea. So this little guy is kind of heavy. I'm sure it's made with all man parts. It's a manly deck. And the date code right there is telling us 1985. Let me bump you in. So we have our line in and out, input, microphone, or line, and then our tape selection. Right here's our date code, 1 of 85, so the first trimester of 85. And then we got some lowly screws right there. My stereo here in the office is all Sony. I was going to say modern, but it's not modern anymore. Modern compared to this. I bought the deck back in the 90s, and well, the head unit I bought in the 90s, and the rest of it I just kind of pieced together. I believe mainly from Goodwill. And we've already seen this eject. Fantastic. I wouldn't mind having a vintage stereo system in line, but here at this house that's not going to happen. I have already completely filled this office up with junk fast, and I have no more room. But the sad thing is there's more junk I want to buy. Lots and lots of more junk. So, hopefully in our next house, we're going to have lots and lots of property. I want acreage. I'd settle with a half an acre, but I'd really like to have 80. And so we're looking for property that has, 5 acres, hopefully at a minimum, but it really all depends on the area. And I honestly wouldn't mind having a school or a commercial building as such. Lots and lots of room. Okay, so this next item, oh, I forgot to tell you that last item. $15.20, half off. So 50% of that is what I paid. And again, this item also 50% off. You'll see here on the door, $8.20 is what I paid. 50% of that. So I paid $4.10. This is another realistic tape deck, and again, another awesome deck. SCT-41. A little smoother. Again, just power test only. And I really like this deck. I like them both, to tell you the truth. Now, I do have another home unit in this office. I actually have 2 units going right now in this office. Vintage, of course. Vintage like really old. Currently, I have a device under test that I've been testing for, well, ever since I moved back into this office. So 9-10 months now I've been testing it, and that's a fantastic deck, and we'll check that out when I tear it down and put my Sony in line. And here on the workbench, let me pause the motion sickness real quick. Up here I have another Radio Shack. It's a SCT-19, and That's my workbench stereo that the dial cord slipped or broke or fell off or did something that I need to repair. But it's good, good radio. And I forgot to tell you, this video is going to be lengthy, mainly because of what I'm going to mention at the end of this video. I don't want to cut this up in parts, and I'll go into that in more detail at the end of the video. So we'll go ahead and spin this guy around. And here we have our line in and out. Not seeing a date code on this, but this is also going to hail from the 80s. Okay, 4A4. So this is late 1984, or that would make sense, would it? 4th month of 1984. Well, it could be, depending on how they do the... Alright, sorry about that. Had to edit that part out too. Another coughing thing. Not coffee, but coughing. Okay, so stack that up. Pretty that up later. Raw video, bear with me. It takes too much time to just keep turning the video and the microphone off and turning it back on, so bear with the dead space for a moment. Okay, some of you might get excited about this next section. I know I am. Radios, radios, radios. Who does not love radios? Who don't have enough radios? I know, I do not. I have no idea where my radio count is. I may have 40 radios by now. I don't know. Portable radios, that is. Here we go. 1983-ish. Soundesign. AM, FM, air. Public band, TV 1 and 2. What a throwback indeed. Let me bump you in. Have not had a real chance to play with this. The one time I did, it sounded like it did okay. As you can see, this radio is in exceptional quality. I lost my words. Quality. There you go. What an awesome radio. Model number 2667-Alpha. Nice aluminum front, nice big dial. I've been trolling for one of these for 4 years. This one finally popped up. $30, buy it now, free shipping. I bought it. Or best offer. I didn't even dicker with the guy. I owned one of these when they first came out. That's what the big deal is about it. Otherwise, you know, really not too spectacular. Not a collector's item. Nobody's going to run out to buy this. When I first started trolling for them, there were about 4 of them, but they were all hideous and junk. You know, they definitely had a rough life. This one here, as you can see, museum quality. I think the only issue about it, well, maybe there is not an issue. When I demo this in its video, I'll tell you more if I know more. This also has a microphone PA system, or a PA system, and then a mic mix. And I think what the difference between the two is PA, public address system, and the mic mix is it'll allow you to sing along with the radio, I believe is what it is. So, very exciting for me to have that radio. And this radio will definitely stay in my personal collection forever and a day. Amen. Alright, next radio. I'm going to stay out of shot for just a moment. You'll understand why. Is a C Crane radio number 2. This was a eBay purchase, and let me bump you out for reasons that you'll understand here in a moment. This is an amazing radio. If you don't own one, why? That's the question. Why? The antenna does go down in its socket. I just have it up for ease. This thing has such a hot receive on it. That's really all I need. I don't need it up anymore. I listened to this for maybe the first 2 weeks after I bought it. And it's an amazing radio. It's AM, FM, 2-meter ham radio. And they did make a revision after this that I guess is supposed to be even hotter. Amazing radio. I think I paid $10 for this on eBay. I bought it as a Parts-ers radio because that's how it was sold, parts. And you see, I bought it because I needed that antenna because I have that radio. And that radio came with a fully broken antenna. And again, an amazing radio. This one was a Goodwill purchase, and the price is somewhere on that tape that I think has since worn off. I think I paid around $5 at Goodwill for that radio, and wow, the DX off of these things are crazy, crazy, crazy. That's all I could say. If you ever come across one, buy it. The only thing that I find wrong with this radio, and I haven't tried it with the black radio because I don't use them, is the memory buttons are all jacked up. When you go to push one, you might get 4. You push it again, you might get whatever. And so it's all like that. So I need to tear it apart and see if there's anything that the buttons can be cleaned, or if we got bad caps or something's going on in there that can be easily fixed. Otherwise, I don't really care. You notice the black radio does have the current time displayed. This one I got batteries in it, this one does not. And it takes D-size batteries, a lot of them. And it's because of that, it keeps batteries, the memory and the date and time. Unfortunately, they don't offer, AA batteries or coin batteries or something to operate the radio, the memory and the date and time. Hope you can hear me okay. I have my back to the microphone as I'm putting these up. Bring out the next victim. Here's a radio that when they first came out, I thought, that's dumb, that's retarded, don't want, ugly. But you know, it's a radio that I've been fascinated by for quite some time. I actually had the opportunity to own one of these a long time ago. When I was out at the flea market, I bought another radio, and it was 2 for 1 price. I told the guy, keep that radio, I don't want it. I kind of kicked myself ever since. This is a Radio Shack SW100. And it comes complete with paint splatter and all that good stuff. This was a local secondhand store purchase. I paid, sticker says $15. I may have paid that, but I'm thinking I actually got it half off. I like half off days. This radio is an amazing radio. I would have to put it next to that Sea Crane. That's how amazing it is. Or, you know, one of the GEs or something. This thing has crazy reception. Has a broken antenna that you can see there. And I get shortwave off of this thing. Not a lot, but I do receive. This is AM, CB, shortwave 1 and 2, FM, TV 1 and 2, air, and weather VHF high. I used to stay away from radios that have TV, but I've picked up a few of them here lately, and I think I was wrong to stay away from them. Those things are amazingly hot. As far as shortwave, it covers 4 through 12 megahertz. One goofy thing about this, the meter is bass-backwards. Every meter on the planet goes this way at full scale. Not this. This lays down. I thought there was something wrong with it at first. You have a mic, antenna, and ear, and this thing is loud and proud. AFC, radio, PA, and power. One thing I dislike about this radio is the fine tune is really, really shallow. And so it makes it a little challenging to fine tune. I'd want, you know, a nice big knob. Comes with this big strap that's buckled in, and these bumpers. The front of it is plastic, back is plastic, while the sides has this pleather on it. Back here we have AC/DC, 9-volt in, as well as battery. So, if you see one of these, buy it. Oh, one other cool thing about this I like this turret. That is awesome. This is my only radio, my first radio that I've had this on. Like, wow. I wished more radios had that. Get that one up, and I'm going to try to retrieve the next one. Kind of buried in. And it weighs about 900 pounds. And some of you who have this will understand why. Minden, Nevada. I told you the wife, teaching her how to lowball people and whatnot. She knew I was wanting this radio, so she went and talked to the guy and got it for $10. Need a little love, but I don't think nothing too major. I don't know what all's wrong with it. I haven't even tried powering it up. I think there's an issue maybe with the battery pack. I think. I don't know. Very, very heavy radio. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a sticker or what that is. But I think it'll clean up nice. Overall, it's in good condition. And I'm just seeing over here it says push. Oh, look at that. Up here it says magnet wave, or wave magnet. I don't know if that does anything. Ah, look at there. I've been wanting one of these, but honestly, I've never really played with one. And this is the first time doing this right here. First time I've seen this. That is one long antenna. Wow. This is the Zenith Transoceanic Royal 1000. It's easy for you to say. Haven't really played with this. This is probably about the most I've done with the radio, other than lugged it and put it up. So look for a future video for that. Okay, so the dial in there does rotate. I have no idea really what's wrong with it. It's maybe a little glue. Who knows? Okay, radios. We're not done with radios yet. Now, I want you to know, most of this stuff I bought within the last 3 months. Radios. Bought that little thing. I got on this kick with GE radios here lately, and so I've been buying a lot of GE radios. As you can see, $3. And I think that's what I paid for it. I don't think it was half off. And it's an okay radio. I wouldn't say it's one of their finest, but for local stuff, it's not bad. Only has one issue, missing the cover. But it works. Oh, I guess it does have a second issue. The antenna is wireless. It was ahead of its time. It works. It's, you know, it'd be a great little kitchen radio or garage radio or radio, something like that. Let's see, what else did Jack buy? Jack bought another radio. Watching the Radio Geek several months ago, he displayed this radio, and I thought, man, that is an awesome radio. I really like it. It's amazing DX. I want one. So I went to eBay and I saw how expensive they were. Well, I wasn't going to pay that kind of money for it. So I waited and waited, and probably about a week later I saw this pop up for $10. So I bought it. This is a CC Pocket. Now, this radio does not work. It was sold as non-working, but I thought, well, I'm a geek. Who knows? Maybe. $10 free shipping. Proceeds went to benefit a horse charity. So I thought, how can I lose? How could anybody lose? The guy gets junk out of his house. I get a project, maybe even a working radio, and the horse gets a little bit of money. So it was, to me, well worth it. I wanted to take this radio with me on the trip that we're taking. I knew I wanted to take a radio, and so I thought, you know, I'm going to take this radio because it's digital, and this thing is an amazing radio. Haven't yet demoed it too much, but amazing radio. But, you know, it's also kind of big for its size, but not too big. And, you know, I didn't really want to damage it, so I thought this here would be perfect. And so that's what that was all about. And I was supposed to work on it before my trip, but that is not going to happen. So that'll be a project for another day. And so at the local Goodwill, I found this. I don't know what I paid for it. I don't see a price on it. But I don't think, but you know, a few dollars. It was this radio right here. This is a realistic Radio Shack model number 12-613. It's AM, FM, TV 1 and 2. Of course, the TV bands are dead. But I'm telling you, the AM radio on this thing is impressive. I was listening to KTNNN out of Window Rock, Arizona, 660 AM. A lot of us have logged that in our DX journals. And I've got, was it K2 out of Wyoming, and Los Angeles and Mexico, and you know, it's not a blistering hot radio like the CC2s and that Radio Shack I showed you, but it's respectable. It's, you know, not bad. And I think I may already have the service manual for this. I don't know. Okay, so radios. I think I may have bought another one or two, and I apologize, I keep kicking the tripod. I believe I bought one or two other radios in that time frame, but at this point in time, I really don't remember. Alrighty. How about a fake mail call? I don't get a lot of mail call. I get a few. Nothing major. But I got this from eBay, and I don't like box openings, but I haven't opened this up yet, as you see. I bought this, and I've had it for almost 2 weeks, and I've not opened it up yet. Knife I'm using a buck knife, and I apologize, I can't see the model number off of it. But I bought this little knife back in the 80s. This is one of my favorite knives. I carry this all the time. I only mention that because not too long ago, watching a All the Gear, No Idea video, he came out and told his viewers that he's now a criminal. He's now on the government watch list. He lives in England, and I guess he was crossing the border, Scotland. I don't know where he was crossing, but he was carrying a locking pocket knife that had the clip, and so the clip was, you know, poking through on the side of his pocket, and the knife was inside his pocket, and got stopped by the man. Gave him a ticket and told him those things are now illegal, which is crazy. Speaking of crazy, all this foam stuff in California is now outlawed. Cannot do this anymore. I bought this. God, I hate these packing peanuts. Alright, well that was exceptional TV right there at its finest. That was probably better than most programming is. I bought this and, well, for a camera that I do not have. These are accessories for a camera I don't have yet, but I am watching one, and as soon as one pops up, or I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. I am watching one, and as soon as I get back, I will buy the camera that goes with this. This is just a battery grip for the camera. And these are two accessory there lenses. It says hood, but I think alrighty, wasn't what I thought. However, I think it'll be just fine. This is a lens hood that mounts on the camera, so now you can mount your threads on, and so that's kind of cool there. And this, I think, I don't know what that goes to, but I'm thinking that might pop over the viewfinder on the back of the camera. Not the viewfinder, but the LCD screen. That way you could view the screen without a lot of sun washing it out. So, okay, not what I thought it was, but definitely usable, because I don't think I've seen these accessories online. And so this goes to a Nikon E5000 camera system, and it's a 5 megapixel camera, older camera, but the sample shots I saw were fantastic. The only time I know that's the only thing I know about the camera is thumbing through and looking at pictures, and saw that it was did a really good job. And it's like, yeah, I gotta have that camera. So for some reason that is not locking, so I will work with that off camera. Anyway, let me pause for just a moment and grab another item. Okay, so we have another fake mail call. Yay. Go loser. Oh, again, this came from eBay. Just got this yesterday. Ordered it a week ago, and came in fast. Don't need it, but you ever have one of those things that just get into your brain like a tick or something, and you just can't shake it? This is one of those things. Wow. What a nice nice job there. Well, we got a couple of bags. Really like this knife. This is my favorite knives. Got a wall wart. Very cool. However, I have been trolling for a bigger pocket knife that I could wear on my belt sheath. What is it? That's right, it's a frequency counter with its matching transformer. If I was ready, I would have set it up to for testing, meaning would have turned something on. I think this goes, yeah, 60, 2 position? Oh yeah, it is 3 position. So we got 6, 60, and 600 megahertz. This model number is CT-70, frequency counter from Ramsey Electronics. And then a sticker with a date. Not sure what that means. Maybe that's the signature of the guy who gave it its final test. And 1990 is when it happens. All but one of the feet have been mobile. Sure, there's not much in here. Turned off, and then we'll test it together. Give me a moment to get a jumper. Man, I cannot wait to clean my workbench off. This thing is have really taken wings and is flying. This is going to my IFR, and currently the IFR is set at 10 megs. It's where it defaults to. Let me boom you in. I mean, bring you in. My light a little better. Alright, here we go. Oops. I keep forgetting to hit that safety switch. Alright, here we go. Well, that was interesting. Okay. I am not getting anything out of there, so maybe the IFR is not powerful enough. Let me hook it up to my GWN stack GRG-450 Bravo RF signal generator. Oh, you know, I'm a goober. How many of you spotted that right away? Of course it's not going to read. I have it on the 6. Let's bump it up to 60. There we go. Now I've got a signal. Let me enter in. Let's see, that's supposed to be 60, so let's go to 60. And as you can see, it's having a hard time holding 60. Let's bump it up one notch. And so that's what, 600. Let me put this on 600. Let me push buttons like I know what I'm doing. And as you can see, barely getting anything. It's kind of interesting how the display wigs out firing it up like that. So I could see this will be a candidate to tear it apart, and if nothing, just clean it. Clean the switch. Let me go ahead and plug this into the GWN stack and see what happens. So let me fire up my SynCore and we will confirm frequency that we're reading. Been so long since I played with anything on my workbench here, it's like relearning everything all over. Okay, so according to my SynCore, Syncor is reading 2.4623. So they are right there. And Syncor is reading almost the same. Let's bump this all the way down to the bottom, which is 100. And Syncor FC45 is reading 101.4. So I mean, it's right there. It's got some good range. I like that. So, like I said, just got this off of eBay. $10.50 plus shipping. Let's take this all the way up to the highest, which is 150. However, I have not swung the dial, and 32 megs is exactly where we're at. Let's see if we can find out where it peters off at. Alright, right there, we're out of range. Syncor is saying it's 73 megs, and that's where the dial's saying. So let's drop it back to towards 60. And we're at 61 megs. I know this ain't that kind of a video. It'll actually be its own video, but just out of curiosity, like I said, just got it. We are at 56 megs. So I wonder, I don't know, that would give me too much. Let me go to 50. $53. So it looks like it dropped shortly after 50 megs. So not up to spec. Let's go over to this band. So as you can see, we were not that far where it said. So I'm going to just crank this all the way up to 150. And the Syncor is also reading 151.75 or 76. So not bad at all. You know, I don't know. I just like frequency counters, signal generators, and the like. That's a nice looking display, small form factor. Okay, enough of that. So move on. And you know, like I said, it's not like I need another freak counter. Okay, so this next item, let me get the wire out of the way and zoom you back. It's going to be a big item, tall item. For the trip. bought this for the trip, for our vacation. I got a stick. Let me move the camera back because we are not all the way in frame. There we go. So I got one of these Smooth 4 made by Zhang Wang or Jian, somebody like that. So I'm going to primarily do video on the trip. We'll take cameras, of course, still cameras, but my thing's going to be video. So watching Dave at 12 volt vids, several months back, he demoed this very same stick, and I thought that was kind of cool, and he had decent success with this. And I did a little more research on the YouTubes and found other people, you know, overwhelmed. And the majority of it liked it. So I thought, why not? So I bought one. The stick with the carrying case. So otherwise it does come in styrofoam, but I'm not going to lug around styrofoam. Bought the case, bought this little adapter right here, and I bought another foot for the wife. This unscrews for her selfie stick. Of course, we've got power bank selfie stick that's, you know, non-motorized, and so those items was $180, which is okay, but the shipping method was horrible. They shipped it all in a bag from China. Wished it good luck. So I bought this light. This is really cool light, and it's very bright. That's on low setting, and you can see how bright it gets. I think I paid $10 or less for it. Really cool light. It's got 3 cold shoes on it. Has a port for external charging, your on-off, and I almost said your volume control, but your brightness intensity, and then a locking switch for the back panel where your batteries go, and it takes 4 AA batteries. I have rechargeables in here. The microphone is a Boya, and it's got decent reviews. It's an off-brand, but it has decent reviews. I don't have a lot of use on this. My days here lately have been very, very hectic. I've been running around like a head with his chicken cut off, and get into that in more detail here soon. So what little bit I've done, it's not bad. I just got this counterweight in 2 days ago, or yesterday, Friday, 2 days ago, and it came with 4 of these weights, and this counterbalance system was only $12, and I went ahead and bought that off of Amazon. Matter of fact, I bought this off of Amazon, because the manufacturer's direct link was there, their store was there, and so that's where I bought. I don't really like Amazon, but I paid an extra $5 to get this shipped to me quickly because I just bought it and I wanted it here like yesterday, and it came in. So in my my little configuration here, I find that this weight without these is just fine. Now let me turn my phone on real quick. And I'm going to go in and open up the app. Okay. And the app I'm using, don't remember the name. I'll put it on the screen. But it was from the Play Store. Bought the app and then I bought the add-on. Total of $30, and it's a lot better than the original app that came with the stick. A lot more stuff you could do with it than what the stick can do. For example, you can see it has VU meters where the other one doesn't. So turn this on and you'll see it do its thing. Yep. Got to connect to the stick first. So I've been going through and learning all of this stuff quickly. Okay. Oh. And as you can see, apparently not a good enough job. There we go. That's what I've been trying to do. It was set into focus mode and not zoom mode. The original app that came with this, the delay on this is horrible. It's really unusable. Too much of a latency issue. So. Alright, so at the beginning of this video, I told you that ran full on the memory card, and I'd have to keep an eyeball on that. Well, guess what I did not do? Therefore, the card stopped, and that's why we had to hard cut this last one. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this back up where we were. Just basically, we were demoing the stick. Oops. Accidentally hit a button and got out of there. So it's really, really cool, and I know because of the light, the overhead light, I'll turn this on. And of course my camera's not going to be at this angle where my light will be in the way. You know, it'll be more up. So while I'm moving the camera around, I could be angling my light where I need it. It's not perfect, but for now it'll work out. And while I was stepped away to dump the card, I looked. I was incorrect on the price. I paid $20 for the light. So, and you notice you dip down, the camera stays up like that. You got to control here on the back. You just mash it and hold it in, and now the camera follows. You see it's a little askewed. Just bump it again twice, and it fixed itself. That's kind of cool. See the VU meters, it's working off the internal camera or internal mic, and let's go in there and okay, guess it was on external. Like I said, it's still learning. So that's what you'll see on the business end. As you can see, that weight works out really well. Should be watching the phone and not my monitor. So. Now go to sleep. An easy sleep. So it's fairly balanced. I have one more cable coming in, should be here Monday, and it's going to be a power cable, so it'll connect to the phone, and it'll come down right here, and by doing that, that will charge the phone, as well as give it power. So get my lighting right. There we go. So with all that said and done, get that out of the way. That, for the most part, wraps up all the purchases and acquisitions and stuff like that. Like I said, over the past couple of months. So, looking forward to playing with well, all of it. Also wanted to let you know that I will be, again, not that active on the YouTubes, as mentioned in the beginning of this series, said that we will be going on vacation. Well, that's happening now. Well, not at the time of this recording. I'm still home, obviously, but this coming week. So that is why I've been very busy. That's why I haven't been able to punch out the last of this video, and that's the reason why this last section is going to be extremely lengthy and not chopped up into two pieces like it should. I just don't have the time. Today's my one day to record, edit, render, and punch it out. So that's the fact, Jimmy Jack. Not sure if I will be able to record and punch out a video every day as I'm gone on this journey. I would like to invite you all along and hope you have fun and see some cool things that we're going to see. Well, we're bringing the laptop this time, and I formatted it and put Windows 10 from Windows 7 to 10 on there, and upgraded some software. Put my video editor on there, Adobe Premiere Pro, and gonna try to use that for editing as opposed to the telephone. But I do have the phone just in case I need. That's what I did last vacation. It was kind of hard doing editing with your finger. I mean, it worked, but hopefully the laptop will be a little easier and I have more powerful tools. Something I'm very much used to using. Well, that's what I edit all my videos with. Not sure if I'm doing a daily post, weekly post, or if I just completely run out of time and won't be able to do it until I get back. So just keep an eyeball out for that. And because of such, I very seriously doubt I will be able to watch your video. I will try. And if I do, it might be one or two here and there, short videos. I don't know what my time is going to be like in the evenings. Scheduled a pretty packed itinerary, and as stated, we were going to go to Virginia, but it went ahead and nixed that out. Other things wanted to do and see, and it just made more logical sense to cut that state and 4 other states out. So trying to keep it focused as well as fun. So I think that's all I have to say in this video segment. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope there was something in all this junk that you liked. I did get a lot of positive comments, so hit a chord with some people, and that is very cool. Again, apologize for the rough video and all the ums and the ohs and all that, just down and dirty. But I do have to say this, it was really easy to edit. Didn't have to sit there and put lipstick on a pig and make it look all pretty. So alright, I think I will end this video now. So have fun, thanks for watching, enjoy my trip with us, and look forward to your comments. 7 3s, have a good one. See ya.